If you're looking for digital products for beginners, you want to pay very close attention here. And so, just so you know, this isn't just some random video from some random dude. So I've been doing this 19 years online. I started my journey back in May of 2006. And when I was first looking for products and services online, back then there were far more physical products, which are far different from digital products, which I assume that's probably what you're looking for here. And so I'll also share with you some of the big advantages. When you have a digital product versus physical, you're able to instantly get this into people's hands all around the world. And there's actually, if you pay attention towards the end, there's something I'm going to introduce to you that's already in almost all the countries of the entire planet, over 150 plus. There's no competition. It's a product everyone in the world needs. It's a very, very low cost. And if you can't have success with what I'm going to introduce to you, you're definitely like you're missing some fundamental pieces. You're not going to be able to have success with anything. Now, it just so happens this super low cost thing I'll introduce to you comes along with literally millions of dollars of training. I know that sounds like a load, but you'll understand more as we continue here. So digital products allow you to get anywhere in the world, and they're borderless essentially. So I know of a company right now, which is also low tier, low ticket, except it gives you a membership into physical products. And these physical products cannot go into like several countries all around the world. And so it drastically limits your reach. What you really want to create a true residual income, a passive income with digital products, what you want to do is have something that can sell 24 hours a day, even while you're not there, even from things you've done days, weeks, months ago, not that you have to jump on the phone with someone and sell them a product. And so, you know, I will never forget the first time I experienced this. This was back my first year. You know, we're going way back to 2006. And I remember I'd been sharing some things back then. I mean, I was using things like MySpace. So that's how long I've been in this industry. And I know I don't look like it. I'm Jason, you could never be turning, guess my age. Go put in the comments how old you think I am. And no Googling. So, and actually, who knows, maybe I actually have a birthday this month. But I share all that to say, you know, I have been doing this a very long time. I have helped tens of thousands. In fact, I've touched the lives of millions of people, but I've helped countless thousands of people make their first incomes online for 19 years now. It's among my highest passions. And so I just want to share with you a lot of the nuggets and a lot of I want to give you a shortcut. So if I have 19 years of in the trenches wisdom where I've made millions of dollars, tens of millions of dollars in sales, built teams of well over 100,000 people. I've sold digital products, physical products. I've worked with beginners, expert, 8-figure income earners, and everything in between. And so digital products for beginners is really when you're first beginning, there's a couple things. First of all, if I didn't already make the point across, you definitely want to look for a digital product versus something physical. So that's number one. Number two is, as a beginner, you want to find something that's going to fit the biggest amount of people. Now, you're going to hear other advice if you're really doing your research. You're going to hear people talk about you have to niche down. You have to have a really defined niche of people. And whether you call it niche or niche, that's personal preference. There's top leaders all around the industry. In fact, I've had this argument with a couple of my children, which they're all mid to late teenagers, 16, 18, 20 years old. And, you know, they demand that I call it niche. But I share this because the vast majority of top marketers, and I know just about all the biggest names, I've worked with them, I've bought their products, I've been in their coaching programs and everything else. And so what I'll share with you is that the vast majority of them call it a niche, not niche, which is really funny. So it doesn't matter what you call it. You don't have to narrow down so much. Now it can be helpful when you're first starting that you're talking to one specific person. So pretend I was making this video for someone who is looking for digital products for beginners. Pretend like that's you. If I have no idea how you found this video or where you're coming from or what platform you're on. You might be on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, maybe LinkedIn. I don't know. I haven't posted there for like 15 plus years, but wherever this video is, I don't know where you're seeing this, but pretend you are a person looking for a digital product and that you are a beginner. If that was the case, then I would want to make this video targeted just towards that specific niche. It's funny. I have to say niche now. It just sounds more normal, which is hilarious. I'm rebelling. I've always been a rebel. So I'm rebelling against all the other my colleagues in the marketing industry, all my fellow 7- and 8-figure income earners. So with all that said, on a really serious note, it does help, especially when you're starting, to be really specific with the kind of person you're talking to. But I would say you can just talk to yourself. And what I mean is, I don't mean actually talk to yourself, but what I mean is, if you think of the kind of person that would be, what are the questions you have? What are the concerns you have? What are the things you care about? And if you focus on those specific things, that will allow you, that is a huge key, because there's like a million other people just like you. Now, you may not believe this, but I can promise you, if you just talk to the things that you care about, not anyone else, that's plenty deep of a niche for you to focus on. So, but one of the big things I want you to stay aware of, and then I'll introduce something that's really going to help you out here, is that you want to have a low-cost product. Also, I'm going to insert something else. It's not even like, it's just an out there nugget that you're probably not going to hear from the vast majority of people. You know, there's all these people selling these digital products and digital courses, hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands of dollars and beyond. And what you have to realize is that, sorry, I'm trying to figure out which direction we're going to walk here. So you might hear a little bit of a waterfall in the background, so we'll just have some fun with it. So you're going to hear these people talking about selling these higher ticket programs. The problem is, when you do that, you never create residual income. And if you don't create a residual income, you will never, ever, ever be free. You will always be stuck creating new material, and there's never going to be a time where you can just step away. And I realize this is going to get a little loud here, but maybe I'll even show you a little bit here. This is pretty cool. So if you don't have something that has a recurring subscription, then you're never going to be able to have a residual income. Residual income, a passive income, comes from having a recurrent subscription. Now, it also encourage you, obviously look for a digital product. We've talked about that. You don't want to be stuck with products that can't get into borders. You don't want to be stuck with shipping, which costs your customers more money, which is less money that they will put towards the product and service. And you also, especially in this day and age, I'm shooting this video in June 2025. And so right now, we are in a global recession. All the countries, all the people around the world are feeling it, and I'm sure you feel the same thing. Look at in fact, these are the real statistics. If your money is not growing at 11% per year, that's just a break even. So whatever you made in this last year, if you didn't make 11% more, and if you didn't make 11% more the year before that and the year before that, you're falling behind your standard of life. Now, you're not alone. All of us in the world are feeling this. My grocery bills are much higher. All the bills have gone up across the border. And this has nothing to do with anybody in office. This has all been set in motion decades and decades and decades ago. This is how the world global financial system works. And you or I are not going to directly change that at all. And so instead of trying to fight that and trying to get that to change, what you can do is directly go to attack on something you can change, which is creating a massive passive residual income. A massive residual income, a massive passive income. And if you do this with low cost products, it will set you free. I want to share a story with you. I didn't know any better. If you remember back in 2007, 8, 9, you know, the banking crash, you know, the real estate crash. So I have a couple crazy stories to share with you, and I won't share the one where I was exactly, in fact, they could have put me on the movie The Big Short, and I was in someone's exact situation. That was such a crazy time. I even was still running our family smoothie franchise at that point, and it was towards the ending. In fact, that event killed off the rest of our franchise, and which was a wild situation. But what I want to share with what was happening in my online journey, because this will deeply serve you. What I didn't know at the time is looking for what's happening around the globe and the global economy. So in the global economy at that time, everyone was freaking out. Banks are failing around the world, and literally all of us are waiting for the currencies and the dollar to crash completely. And you may or may not know this, I do happen to live in the US, but that has nothing to do with the world, the entire world's currency. I don't know what you can see. That's pretty cool, right? And then it leads right into, there's usually some beavers down there. If you look really closely, they're still down there. Oh, that's crazy. I know that guy. And here's this one more time. Say goodbye. And let's get back to school. Let's get back to, no, I don't want to say that. Not school, because I know a lot of you hate school. Forget about what I said. Let's get back to life education, real education, not the crazy stuff they're trying to teach in the current school system, which, by the way, is so dated. They're not even trying to keep up with AI and technology. They can't. It's done. The whole school system will collapse, and you will see in the years to come how that plays out. The school system as we've all known it. I mean, all right, if you didn't already guess my age, I'm turning 50 later this month. And so those of us that have been around this system for a while, that whole thing is completely changing. So, and yes, I'm always going to insert in all these side nuggets of wisdom, because I spend my life studying where we are going as humanity, human behavior, how to make money, how to help people, studying digital products, marketing, leadership, communication, pretty much everything to do with human behavior and technology, my favorite topics, but also huge side doses of finances, of health and fitness, and dozens of other topics. And so what I want you to think about and understand is that as we're looking at things and we're looking at how to create an income online, think about back, I started to share that I was young in my journey. I was only about a year into it when this whole crisis started happening in 2007, 2008. What I didn't realize, and what I got super lucky because I was just working so hard, I happen to have an all digital product. It happened at the time that particular product was $10 a month. Something I'm going to introduce you to in a moment is only $20 a month. And so I didn't realize back then what a huge advantage myself and all of my clients and all of my team had, because we were growing that subscription-based business, $10 a month. This is a pretty cool shot too. I'll just kind of show you. So we were growing this business $10 a month. All of us, it turned into a team of more than 100,000 people. We all started off with just introducing other people to a simple $10 per month subscription. Now, for many reasons, that business, I stopped promoting that a long time ago. So don't ask me about that one, because I have something far better for you. And it's only $20 a month. which is the equivalent of back then of about $5, $6, $7 a month. And if you think there's no money in that, and if somebody's told you that, like they tried telling me back then, they're crazy. I've made more than $500,000 from that $10 a month thing, and that's not even close to as powerful as what I'm going to introduce you to in a second. So I didn't realize we had gold on our hands. I didn't realize the whole world was freaking out and looking for a plan B income. I didn't realize that our team was going to end up going to 100,000 members way back then. I just didn't know what we had on our hands at that time. But I share all that because it's really important you understand this is decades of wisdom. This is my hard fought personal wisdom I'm sharing with you. And I can tell you, having a low cost and a subscription model, it saved my financial life. It is what allowed me to finally leave corporate America. I've been full-time since early 2008. And I bring all that up because that was literally right going into that banking crash. What I didn't realize is what was fueling all that and the stability and people joining as if their life depended on it, just like they're doing with the $20 per month thing I'm going to introduce you to. They're doing that because it was super low cost. They couldn't afford much else. They were afraid of their financial future and their families, their loved ones' financial future. Nobody really knew what to do. So all these people were jumping online and seeking out things like that low monthly cost subscription model. So if you've ever been looking, if you are a beginner, you understand how digital products are important, and not just for beginners, but digital products for beginners, digital products for experts, digital products for self-made millionaires. These products are incredibly important, and it's probably the most important part of your entire arsenal, and your ability to realistically make a residual income and create, first of all, create some income, but then start to get some leverage and create a residual income out of that by selling a low cost subscription model digital product that everybody in the world needs. This is like, I know that for someone, this is going to change the course of your life, because I've watched this happen across thousands and thousands and thousands of people over these 19 years. And so here's how you can learn more about this thing. All you have to do, if you're here on YouTube, just go down in the description and look for the link, enter your name and email, watch a video if there's a video on a page, and it will literally introduce you to everything you need. It's $20 a month. It pays incredibly. Want to see a cool, I think there's a, oh no. There was a duck here earlier with 2 little babies, but that's not what was just making the noise, just a blackbird. So, you know, we have this low cost $20 a month thing. It helps people save money on stuff they're already buying. It's only $20 a month. And it's literally the hottest company of 2025, with just in its first 6 weeks, almost 8,000 people have already joined. And it will clearly go on to hundreds of thousands and millions of people. And there's a major, major advantage. The faster you can go click on that link, lock in your timestamp with your, all you do is enter your name and email address for free. That locks you into something called a powerline. This system has been around at least, I mean, I discovered one in 2007, ironically from the founder of the Powerline System Methods, which is the owner of this Powerline system. So just wanted to share some of that with you. The link is below. My team blew up and allowed me to finally leave corporate America and finally be there for, at the time, my 2 young children and 1 on the way. And I have not missed their field days. I have not missed any school events. I haven't missed anything because of the freedom that this industry has created for me. So The link is down below. If you're on YouTube, the link is in the description down below. If you're on Facebook, if you're on wherever else, just message me. You can just type save and I'll send you the link and the info you can check out. If you're anywhere else, just message me. If you have to default, go onto Facebook and find me. Same thing on TikTok, just send me a message, I'll send you the info. Or in fact, just comment below if you're on Facebook or TikTok, just comment save, and then I will send you the information. So that's the deal. Low cost. It will absolutely help you. And I didn't even talk about what we're doing with the training on the back end. We have a few of us all have made multiple 7+ figures, and we have all come together. We have decades and decades and decades of marketing and leadership experience, and we're literally pouring all of it in to everybody, even though, and all it does is cost you $20 a month. Like, this is literally training that we would normally charge thousands of dollars for, and we have. And we've made hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars with this kind of training, but we're giving it to everybody for just this $20 a month. And so it's also why we're the fastest growing team in the entire company of 8,000. Our team is about to cross approximately, wow, look at how much better the lighting looks in here. So the teams, we just crossed 1,600 members. This thing has only been around for 6 weeks and 3 days now. And this is by far the greatest thing I've ever seen in my 19 years. And I've put all of my projects on hold. My whole life is just this business, serving the team, coaching and helping people. Everything you need is down in the link below. And the only other parts of my life, it is my health and fitness, hanging out with my 16, 18, and 20-year-old, and probably a few other random things I'm not thinking of right now, but that is what this is all about. And then check this out. That's some fun too. So residual income gets you lots of cool things. So love and gratitude, my friend. You know what to do. Click the link below if you're on YouTube. Anywhere else, just put a comment below and type in save. In fact, if you do that on YouTube, I will actually also message you on YouTube, but the link's already there, so you don't really need to make comments, but feel free. Looking forward to the journey, my friend. Looking forward to serving you.